So in today's video, we're going to be addressing the recent rumors that came out that suggest that Collin Sexton can leave the Cleveland Cavaliers this offseason. And this would of course be through a potential trade that could happen. And in this video, I'm also going to be talking about the top 3 potential destinations for Collin Sexton and what a trade would look like with those 3 teams. So make sure to stick around to the end of the video, and also if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and also hit that notification bell button. And now let's get into the video. So this season for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Collin Sexton has averaged about 24 points per game, as well as 3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and about a steal per game, on shooting an efficient 37% from 3 and 47% from the field, as well as 82% from the free throw line. So with the stats, Sexton definitely looks like a great player on paper. But of course it hasn't resulted into many wins this season and last season, as the Cavaliers finished this season 22-50 with being the 13th in the Eastern Conference. And the main reason is probably that the Cavs do not have a correctly constructed team around Sexton. But the few main reasons that the Cleveland Cavaliers could decide to trade Collin Sexton this offseason would be because him and Jarrett Allen would need to receive a $100 million or more type of a contract from the Cleveland Cavaliers in the next few seasons. And the Cavs are already paying a player like Kevin Love a ton of money this season and next season, which is why they might just not want to crush their cap space in order to sign these 2 players. And they might go with Jarrett Allen over Collin Sexton because Collin Sexton actually had some problems with other teammates this season. As per several reports, the teammates on the Cavaliers have not really liked to play alongside Collin Sexton, since they feel like he doesn't really pass as much and does not see them on the court. And there were also recent reports that the Cavaliers are viewing Darius Garland as their best player on their team, and that they're trying to build around Garland instead of Sexton, which just keeps adding to these potential rumors. But with that all being said, now let's hop on to mock trade and team number 1. So in mock trade number 1, the Chicago Bulls would be the team involved in a trade, and they would get Collin Sexton, as the Cleveland Cavaliers would get Kobe White and 2 future second-round picks. So of course the reason that the Bulls would even consider this trade is because they're in serious need of a real future point guard. And that could definitely become Collin Sexton if they were to decide to actually become involved in a trade for him. And Collin Sexton is only 22 years old, so he has so much more time to develop. And the good part about this trade for the Chicago Bulls is that they do have tons of cap space to be able to sign him to an extension. And imagine a well-structured team built around a big 3 of Collin Sexton, Zach LaVine, and Nikola Vucevic. That would definitely be a very intriguing idea for the Chicago Bulls. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they get Kobe White in this trade, as well as 2 future second-round picks. But the reason this is a good trade for them, as I've mentioned earlier in the video, would be because they're getting rid of a ton of future cap space by trading away a player like Collin Sexton very early. And they take on a chance in Kobe White to pair him up with Darius Garland in the backcourt. But with that being said, now let's hop on to trade number 2. So in this trade, the Pelicans would receive Collin Sexton, as the Cleveland Cavaliers would receive Kira Lewis Jr. and a future first-round pick. And the reason that the Pelicans would do this trade would be for the reason that they get Collin Sexton to pair up with a player like Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, and this isn't the case that Lonzo Ball leaves this free agency. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, this trade would make sense since they obviously get rid of Sexton's long-term contract and take another chance on a point guard that they can pair up with Darius Garland in Kira Lewis Jr. And they also get a future first-round pick in draft compensation from the New Orleans Pelicans. And now let's hop on to mock trade number 3. And in this trade, the New York Knicks would receive Collin Sexton, and the Cavaliers would receive Obi Toppin and a future first-round pick. And the main reason that the Knicks would make this trade would be to land Collin Sexton as their future point guard. And of course, they also have the cap space to pay him, as the Cleveland Cavaliers would get Obi Toppin in a player that they really wanted to land before the draft. and now they would be able to pair him up with Isaac Okoro, which was another former 2020 NBA draft lottery pick. So with that being said, let me know what you guys do think about these potential Collin Sexton trade rumors. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy this video, and also like this video to help me out. And it's been KNYT here, and I'm out. Peace.